I've logged into my Alora solution. As you can see here, I've got several machines reporting. This is your typical Alora interface. We see today's utilization numbers as compared to the past 3 days. It's called our trend viewer. Yesterday's utilization comparatively, last week and the last 30 days. So these are just telling me how my shop is performing week over week, month over month, day over day. And then underneath that is just the simple stripe charts for a period in time, whether the machine is running, i.e. green, or not running, red, or if it's down, whether it's planned or unplanned downtime. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to expand out the menu here on the left-hand side so you can see the different options. Now, the first thing you'll see are the dashboards. So it's the same thing as the dashboards here. We have some dashboards that have been out of box developed, as well as a custom dashboard here. That's the department dashboard. That is part of our Builders module. So with our Builders module, you get the Widget Builder and the Dashboard Builder. So by building individual dashboards, a user can come in and select a specific dashboard and have a very customized view to what their login is specifically related to. So a production manager on a shop floor may want to see all the machines, but maybe an individual operator or a group of operators would like to see a very small subset of the machines that they're only focused on or responsible for. So we could build these templates and these machines out using our dashboard builder. But today we're going to talk specifically about the widget builder. So allow me to get into the widget builder. A widget back here on the dashboard is anything that would frame up a window. So here is a widget. Here is a widget. This is a widget. The page is loading, so just give it a second. But any one of these small blocks are considered a widget. So we can create our own or modify one that already exists and make it a new widget. So from here, what we'll do is we'll enter the widget builder. And you'll see a bunch of widgets already pre-built. And these are protected. So we are allowed to copy them, but you are not allowed to manipulate the out-of-box actual widgets that drive the primary dashboard. So what I've done is I've clicked on planned downtime. Notice it's set to copy. So it is allowing me to copy it. So I just came up here and hit the copy button. And I ended up with a planned downtime copy down here. So that's what we're going to use. So let's go ahead and open that by double-clicking on it. And you'll see how the out-of-box widget has been created. So right now we've got the different downtime reasons that are here in the columns. You can see it's summarized by that, and we've got a value in this particular column. So that is driven over here. This is similar to an Excel pivot table. So if those of you that have used a pivot table before will feel really comfortable using the widget builder inside our Alora solution. So we always start here at the data tab. We can create or edit our own formulas. So this is an option that you have to come in and be able to do a formula on your own. So let's say I wanted to create a very specific formula that allows me to have a specific start date. So to filter out any particular dates, I want to start on a specific start date and do anything equal to or greater than. So I will put in a very specific date field. So I'm going to call this specific start date. I'm actually going to set this to text because we're going to do an SQL statement. So this is going to be case when, and I'm going to grab work date. So watch this. We're just going to come over here. We're going to grab the work date and we're going to slide it over in to the template here, to the workspace to be able to drop that variable in. And I'm going to add my calculation. I'm going to put my specific date in, and keep in mind it's got to be 4 digits. So you got to be YYYY/MM/DD, which is the day. And we'll close quotes. We're going to do newer, else, older, end. So that'll put in a custom formula. So we're going to use work date, and we're going to pick anything that's greater than June 1st, 2023, and we'll save that. This actually runs a test to make sure that it was saved correctly. But once it's been built, this becomes a variable that you can pick in any one of your widgets. So to be able to have a custom formula to build any way that you would like is extremely powerful. And this can be at the row level, at the summary level, or at the global level when you build this formula. And you can make it a percent or a ratio. So we're all set here, and actually you'll see that pop up. Let's close this out. You'll see that pop up in our formula now, right there, specific start date. So that is now a variable that we can use if we'd like. So we've added formulas, edited formulas. This here is the preview. So you can look at the top 5,000 results, or you could pull a sample 5,000. It's typically, you're looking for some sort of chart that has a top callouts. Top 5K results is perfect. And then the data transformation option, you should keep this enabled because that allows you to see what's happening as you're manipulating the variables over here. So let's do this. Let's add a machine information. So what we'll do is we'll come down here and we can add either a machine as a label. So now we see the different machines up here and the specific downtime values that they have. Or I can opt to move this to a row value. And what I'm doing is just grabbing right here where the little matrix shows up. And we can show that as a grouping. And then you can do orders, right? So changing the order changes the way the details show in the screen. So now rather than necessarily grouping it by downtime reason, I have a filter that can be applied where we're going to start with machine, then we're going to go to downtime reason. So if I open the plus screen, now you can see the very specific details associated with the downtime for the star SV or for the HOS2. So we can categorize this however the user would like to see it just by moving items in and out. And I can add this specific start date formula to one of these fields as well so that I only capture the date information that I was looking for, the very specific date range. It's pretty neat the way this works. So why don't we grab what we've got here and let's head over to the visualization. In the visualization section, the default display for this particular item in our standard dashboard is a basic column. We've basically broken this down into overall downtime summary based on the different categories that we have for downtime. So this is planned downtime. We know that it was coming. So these are the categories. However, I can look at the different options here and kind of change them out. So I can look at a basic bar graph. By double-clicking on the area, I could actually change the format of the bar graph. Or let's say I might want to go to a basic pie, or if I double-click on the little black arrow there, I might want to do a gauge or what we call a semicircle. We could do a gradient with different colors, a donut chart. You kind of get the idea. And then your tooltips, when you hover the cursor over, will provide a summary and a highlight. So this will function inside the dashboard that you create once you build this widget. But the idea is you get to pick what makes the most sense for your specific application. And again, there's quite a bit of choices that you could have here. Waterfall charts and ideas, honeycomb charts, a solid gauge. If this was something that was needed to be monitored, actually this color would be reversed because you don't want that much planned downtime. But the idea is you could come through here and manipulate the graph in the way you would like to see it. So why don't we just go ahead with basic 3D. Okay, so now that we have that, oh, and by the way, you can also come up here and change it to a grid. So you don't necessarily have to have a chart. We could just have a standard grid. So that is an option. So we'll go with this. And then I have the ability to enter the hover information using HTML code. So when I hover over it, if we look at this format, that's HTML format, and I'll go ahead and put it up in the HTML editor. You could see your bold font HTML callout, and it's calling out the downtime reason name, which is training, and it's bold. Then it shuts the bold off, and it does the hours, and it writes the hours involved. So that's the hours pulled from the database. So if you'd like to change the tooltip, you can, and we can add the different reasons here. We also have the ability to change the data labels on each of the graphs. So the customization capability is pretty amazing. Let's go ahead and close out of this. And if I'm happy with this, I can rename it. So let's just rename this. That way there I know who did it, and I can enter a description, pie chart for downtime. And we'll go ahead and move to the properties section. So the properties is where you're able to change the name of the chart. You can see there I added Brian to the name. You can put this to the right. Let's move that over. We can change the font. We can change the color. Let's make it red. So red is bad. It's usually a bad thing. But anyway, I digress. The idea is you can change the title. You can add a subtitle. We can add legends. You can apply your company format and color code to this as well. So the choices for all the different categories are here for you to customize this to meet your needs in any way that you see fit. So pretty impressive functionality when it comes to building your own customized widgets. You can also enable some of the other functions that come with the solution, such as drill down capability. Right now, if I were to click on this, that would be considered a drill down. So this is enabling the drill down, the flip function, and other things to be interactive with the widget itself. And then we get to the color palette, and this is where you can come in. And if you're not happy with the light blue selection here, or might be some sort of color code issue, we can go ahead and change those codes and change those colors to meet the requirements set forth for your particular application. So we can change those around. You can see the color. It's actually changing this one up here, but you could change the color codes for each of the colors that apply to the chart. So this is the widget builder overall functionality. Once you're done, you're going to go ahead and save this. I've now created this custom widget. And then what I'll do is I'll come to the dashboard builder, and let's say I have the department dashboard, because the first three are default and uneditable, but I've got this department dashboard. So I'll go ahead and edit that. And then you'll see in the widget list, you'll see my planned downtime named Brian, and I can go ahead and add that widget. You'll see that pop up here, and I can set the size, I can set the location, and I can place that anywhere on my dashboard, so that when I come and by the way, this is controlled by users. So, if you want all users to see it, that's the way we'll set it. If only certain users can see it, so be it. That's the case. We'll go back to the main dashboard, and I'll pull up the department dashboard as if I was a user coming in and utilizing the system. And now you can see where I've added that custom widget.